Hello and welcome to Building Apps is Easy with Drupal, DrupalGap, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS for Apple and Android stores. I'm Joe Roberts. I work at BioClinica and I'm a web developer. This presentation is for Drupal 2016. So let's get started. The agenda. Why Drupal? That's a simple one. What is DrupalGap? And we're going to go over two different apps today. We're going to show you how to make them. The first one is a mobile app, geotag a photo and upload it. The second one is a web app with Headless Drupal, and you can get nearby content shown on a map. We're going to talk about how to get involved and questions. So, why Drupal? Because it's Drupadelphia, which makes sense. But aside from that, Drupal is a great content management system, even though the learning curve can seem a little intense. You start climbing up the hill and it gets tough, and then you get all the way to the top, and then if you don't hang yourself, maybe you get around the cliff, maybe you get on top, and then if you don't kill yourself again, you might get bulldozed over by a new version of Drupal and just fall to your death. But anyway, aside from that, all the knowledge that you took the time to learn on that Drupal curve will totally all apply into DrupalGap, which is fantastic. So you start out as a beginner, you become proficient, then you become a ninja, and I don't know if you can see, but on the side here it says 50, 100, 150, 200. Not sure if that's hours, minutes, days, weeks, years, whatever. It takes a while. It does take some time, but eventually you're a ninja, and you can literally bust through and break through any code. Oh yeah, you can do that just like the Kool-Aid man. And you start drinking the Kool-Aid. You start drinking the juice, and then the juice isn't enough. So you need your daily cup of coffee to keep you going, your cup of Drupal to keep you going, and then if that's not enough, sometimes you need a little snack. So you throw in some chocolate. So you get the Drupal chocolate, which is awesome. And the only thing that's better than chocolate is, of course, bacon. So and then from there, it only gets, the only thing that is better than all of that is Star Wars. So this is Finn as the Drupal drop, of course, and it's the new order of stormtroopers, which is fantastic. So it makes life fun. So anyway, what is DrupalGap? Well, it's an open source mobile application development kit for Drupal websites. And what it does is it's the communicator between the apps and the Drupal site, which is fantastic, and it makes it super simple and easy and quick. All right, so let's get into Drupal. So there's two parts. Drupal has there's a Drupal module, and then there's a mobile application development kit, or MADK as I like to call it. You can check out both of them on that location, and you can always find everything on DrupalGap.org. What does the DrupalGap module, how does the DrupalGap module work? Well, so what it does is DrupalGap uses services and views data source to pass data back and forth in the JSON format, and that's how it plugs and plays with those the JSON format. What tools does DrupalGap mobile application development kit use to build apps? Well, we use jQuery mobile for the interface, and we use PhoneGap to build out our DrupalGap app into iOS and Android stores. So what is PhoneGap? That's helpful to know if you're working with it. So PhoneGap essentially is you take HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, create a mini website. That website gets put into a native app container that's essentially just a browser that loads your website. And as you're using stuff throughout that website, you can access different things like the camera, the GPS, the file system, contacts, compass, accelerometer. A lot of those things you cannot access through the browser. For example, in iOS, in Safari, you can create a mini website that can do your GPS, but the website can't access your camera or file system to get pictures off of it. So this allows you to break through that barrier that you can't do some things with, and allows you to take your app to the next level. So putting it all together, I'm just going to read this because it does the best job, but DrupalGap uses the services and views data source module to talk to Drupal. It also uses jQuery mobile to build the user interface, and it uses PhoneGap to access device features and compile the mobile application for Android and iOS. So how does it work? DrupalGap inherits Drupal development concepts, except it uses JavaScript instead of PHP. So you still have regions, still have blocks, still have menus, still have pages. And you can customize it using modules, hooks, themes, templates, and everything else. But there's so much more, and it's all free, which is the greatest part of it all. So you can use contributed modules. There's forms APIs, render arrays, widgets, localization support for multilingual, and tons of other goodies. And also support for Drupal 8. Now this is really cool. The alpha release is almost ready. So close. We're almost there. And it's purely written in JavaScript, so there's no jQuery, no nothing anywhere, and you can just pop in Bootstrap or Foundation or any other framework you want to use just right out of the box, which is awesome. So, DrupalGap, the app awakens. This is going to be our first app we're going to build, and I've titled this Episode 7, Mobile App, Geotag a Photo and Upload It. Now you might be wondering why I said episode 7, and I said it because I didn't want to be associated with episode 1 because of the failure of it or because of the boringness of it. But anyway, so this is not going to be boring. It's going to be just like 7, which is awesome. My son loved it. I loved it. We're going to go for it. This is exciting. So if you ever want to follow along, all you have to do is follow this URL right here, and that will take you exactly where you need to go, and that'll have step-by-step instructions, or you can play and pause and stop the video along the way. Either works great. Okay, so what I have here is I have the best test URL in the world, mymacandcheese.com. I am very proud of that. It is just a vanilla Drupal 7 website. No modules installed yet, no nothing. I'm going to start from scratch and show you exactly how to do it. What I am going to do is I'm going to use SSH, which allows me to log straight into my server and connect to it and do anything I want. So I've just logged in, and what I need to do is get into the same directory that my Drupal install lives. So that I'm going to change directories, or CD. I'm going to hit do www, hit tab, and then I'm going to do my Mac. And if you just start typing and hit tab, it'll complete it for you. It kind of auto completes, which is awesome. And then you hit enter. So now I'm in the My Mac and Cheese Drupal install, and the way you can see it is you can hit LS and you can list out what's in that folder. That's a great way to see what's going on. And just so you know, I do have Drush installed on here, and you just type in Drush and you can see if it's installed, and if it shows you all the commands, it's installed. So I am going to be using Drush. I am going to be doing a lot of stuff that if you've never used Drush, it looks very overwhelming and scary, but in all reality it's not, and it'll make life quicker, better, faster, and I promise that once you go Drush, you never go back. So let's just get going, and I'll show you how to download modules using Drush. So you just put in the command Drush, you type download, and I want to accept all of the prompts that pop up. And what I'm going to do is I want to install the modules admin. I want to install admin menu. I want to install views, ctools, DrupalGap, and DrupalGap's dependencies, which are services, views, underscore data, source, and libraries. And then a separate module I want to install is GeoField, GeoCoder, and entity, because entity is actually a requirement of GeoField and GeoCoder, but it doesn't. It's kind of tricky because it's not actually required, but it is a requirement. So I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to go out and say, I don't have any of these modules, I got to download them. So it's going to download them all, which is fantastic and super simple. I didn't have to do anything but one line of code. Well, not even code, just a command. So then from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say drush en, which stands for enable, and I'm going to accept all the prompts so I don't have to say yes every time. And I want to enable DrupalGap. And that'll say, oh, there's a couple dependencies we got to turn on. Yes, turn them on, which is what that -y does. So that downloads all the make sure it turns on all the dependencies and everything like that. And then what I want to do is do drush enable views. And I'm going to say yes to all first because I want to make sure I don't have to hit yes every time. Views, and I want to do views underscore UI. Hit enter. Awesome. And then I want to do drush enable. I'm going to do GeoField. We're going to do GeoCoder. We're going to do entity. We're going to do admin underscore menu and hit enter. And once we've got, I forgot to hit -y. So this is what every time you'd have to hit yes, but if you put the -y, you don't have to, which is awesome. So then everything got installed, and I don't know if you installed, but GeoPHP was also a requirement of GeoField, which it auto installed, which is any requirements get installed. And now what I want to do is I want to turn on admin menu. So I'm going to do drush enable, and I'm going to say yes to all prompts, and I want to do admin underscore menu underscore toolbar, hit enter, and then I want to do drush disable, or dis, and for disable, I'm going to say yes to all the prompts, and I want to disable the normal toolbar, and then I also want to go, if you hit up, it'll reload the previous one you did, which is kind of a good feature to know. And then I want to change disable to PM underscore uninstall dash yes toolbar. So I'm going to uninstall the toolbar as well. Now, if I did this right, I should be able to go over here, and I'm going to do a refresh, Control F5, do a hard refresh, and I got the nice admin menu, which helps you shortcut to everything, which is the best ever. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to install Drupal Gap is installed, the module on the Drupal website. Now I want to show you how to install the SDK. So we go to Configuration, Web Services, Drupal Gap. So before I get started, I want to make sure I test the connection, make sure that's all working well, which it is. And then I want to install the SDK, and it's going to ask you where. So mobile app application is the default place, and that's where all the docs will refer to where the SDK is installed. So I recommend 100% staying with mobile application. You can honestly install it wherever, but that's where I install. That's where I'm going to install now, but you're welcome to install anywhere else. So that's totally fine. And so we installed it, and now let's check it out. Let's see it. So there's a couple things here. You can do launch app, and the module failed. They failed because I didn't clear the cache before I redid this presentation. So it was looking for stuff that was there, but it's totally cool because we will refresh the page and it'll work fine. All right, so that was because I didn't clear the cache. I was looking for the files already on the server. We're looking for that specific, already on my local machine. We're looking for something that wasn't existing. So we cleared the cache, and this is the out of the box Drupal Gap, what it looks like, and it's fantastic. So it's got a ton of great stuff already set up. It's got some login stuff. You can log in, you can create a new account, and let's log in. So we'll log in as the admin. And so then once you log in, it takes a second sometimes. Once we're logged in, okay, I have some other options. I've got create content, taxonomy, users. I can hit content, and this will show me a list of all my content. Don't have any content yet. It's a brand new Drupal website. But let's create content. Why not? Let's create it. So we're going to say, oh, let's create a basic page. Make a title. This is, say this is my body, and we'll say save, and it'll load the page and show us the page. So it's so amazing because when you hit save here, what it does is it pushes it up to the server, hits save, puts it all there, anything that's any dependencies or anything like that is all taken care of, and then it loads the page. Now you might be saying, okay, it says hello, but where's the this is my body part? So actually, this is a great example. So what we can do is show you inside of Drupal, for every content type, there is a display mode, and we just created a basic page. So if we go to basic page, content types, basic page, manage displays, Drupal Gap, you have by default the title is always the only thing that shows, and everything else is hidden by default. So because that allows you to customize the display mode for your app, because it might be different. Well, you might want to display something different in your app versus your site. So we'll just, add the body and hit save. And then what we're going to do is just clear our cache just to make sure we're completely good. And I'm going to Control F5, get a new copy from the server. I always do that just to be safe, especially for demonstration purposes. And then if you go to content, there it is. Hello. There it is. This is my body. So it's pretty awesome, the ability to go from, creating something in the app and also having it display right inside the website as well. And you can see the content in both places. Hello. It's just that simple. And we created a mini app that fast. We're going to make it even better. We're going to actually make the full app. So what we're going to do is we're going to take over the content type article. So we're going to go structure, content types, structure, content types, article, and we're going to manage the fields of article. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of tags. We don't really need the tags. And we're going to add another field called position. And what we're going to do is the position field is going to be GeoField, and we're going to do it as a latitude and longitude and hit save. Alright, so we'll take the default settings, that's fine, and we'll take the default settings again. And what we'll do is we got a title, body, image, position, and I'm pretty sure we're good to go with that. So we did install the if you remember when we were doing the Drush, I installed GeoField. So because I installed GeoField on Drush, I also need to install the GeoField under Web Services DrupalGap, because I have to install it in the SDK as well. So what we'll do is we'll go over to the SDK, we'll go right down to GeoField and hit install, and this is how easy it is to install GeoField module. All the contributed modules you can install right from here, which is awesome. So we've installed the GeoField there. So now what I would do is, in order to show you guys, I would normally download the app, and then I would take the app and I would there's tons of different tutorials on how to set up your iMac or whatever you use to render apps for iOS or Apple. I use an iMac, and you would hit download, and you would hit download. It'll go up, it'll grab all the stuff from the server, it'll zip it up, and it'll give you a little zip file that you can just grab, and that'll have everything in it that you need in order to build out your mini website. And what you can see is it's just a regular website. So it's got an index file, it's got some CSS, it's got some jQuery mobile, it's got JDrupal, which is a communication thing that uses for JSON. It's got the bin, this is where all the magic happens, the Drupal Gap JS. That's the best of it all. And under app, this is essentially just like your this is almost exactly like your sites inside of your Drupal website. So you've got your settings, you got all your modules, then you would make a theme folder if you had themes. So everything's found right in here, which is fantastic. So I would take all that, and what I've done actually is I've rendered it and compiled it, and then I've actually put it into an app on my phone. And what I'm going to do is I'll take it out and I'll show you on the screen, and you can see exactly what I did and how I did it, and it'll be awesome. And hopefully it'll work, and you'll be able to see how simple it was to create an app that quick. So what I'm going to do is show you that I've got, there's my kids, they're crazy. That's my Kylo Ren and Princess Leia. So what I'm going to do is I'm logging into my phone, I'm pulling up the app that I have, and what I'm going to do is show you how you can just log right in. So let's see, I'm going to log in as I'm logging in. I'm going to log in as the admin, and everyone loves typing passwords on mobile devices because it is so much fun. Alright, so I got logged in, and what I'm going to do, I'm logged in, I'm going to hit the menu button in the top, and I'm going to hit content. It shows me my list of contents. So what I'm going to do is hit create content. Okay, and what I want to do is create an article, and then what I'm going to do is just hit get current position, and what that does is it automatically uses my GPS and pulls down my lat and longitude. I'm going to hit my title, I'm going to put in this is live. I'm going to put the body. I'm going to say hope it works, exclamation point. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit take photo. There's a take photo button. It pops up the photo button, and what I'm going to do is take a picture of myself. Alright, there's the picture of myself. I'm going to hit use photo. So then it pops the photo in. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and I'm going to hit save. And when you hit save, as long as you hit the right button, it's saving. It updates. Boom. And look, there it is. This is live. Well, it might be backwards because it's on the screen, but anyway, it says this is live. It says hope this works, and it did. And there's the picture of me. I just did it on the app. You got to see it. It's on the site now. It's Hello Drupadelphia. It's also in the app. I just cleared the cache, and I'm loading the content list, and after the content list loads, it will show you that Hello Drupadelphia is there. Hello Drupadelphia, and okay, nothing's loading in there. I wonder why that is. Well, that's because we created a new content type. So we go to structure, content types, basic. This is an article. We want to update the article display mode, and we want to go to Drupal Gap, and we want to log in. Of course, that helps. And what we're going to do is move the image up. We'll move the body up, move the position up, and we'll put these labels as hidden because who likes labels? And we want to make sure we make the image something for mobile. We'll make it a medium, hit update, and we'll make sure that the coordinates are set to latitude and longitude. Don't forget to hit save. That's important. And then what we'll do is clear the cache. Clear the cache, and we'll go back to the web app and reload the web app. Go to the content, Hello Drupadelphia, and you can see there it is. Now look, this is a great example. So the images aren't showing up, and this is a problem that you'll see we can fix super easy. I just wanted to make sure that it actually happened, because this will benefit you future wise if you take care of this now. So what we did was out of the box they've updated Drupal, the most latest one, that so the image styles that auto get generated, you can't just create them anymore. You have to have a URL parameter on it so that it knows that that it's legit and you can create it. So what we have to do is turn that off. So we're going to go we're still in the My Mac and Cheese. I'm still SSH'd in, and what I'm going to do is do chmod 744, and I want to go to sites, default, hit tab every time I'm hitting tab to finish it. Settings. I'm going to enter, and then now that I've changed that, so I've changed it to 744 so I can edit it. And I'm going to go to VI. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to go all the way down the bottom, and I'm going to add this line of code that's commented out. I commented it out, so you would have to actually add it, but I commented out so you could see this issue. And so what it is you got to add the image allow insecure derivatives equals to true. All right, so then I'm going to hit escape, I'm going to hit colon, and I'm going to hit write and quit. Now I don't know if I actually specifically said I want to make sure. So when you go into the VI, you have to hit insert in order to edit it. So that's how I hit insert on my keyboard, then I deleted that comment, or you'd have to add that, and then I hit escape to get out of the insert so I can't edit anymore, and then you hit colon, write quit, because I want to write and quit it. I want to save that and get out of there. Then right after that, don't forget, this is the worst thing you could do. If you forget, turn it back to 444, because you don't want anyone else to be able to touch it or view it or edit it. So that is the quick fix. And then if we go back to settings, clear browser, clear data cache, I'm going to go back to this link and hit Control F5 and refresh from the server. And once everything loads up, I'm going to hit content, and then I'm going to hit hello Drupadelphia, and then you can see that it worked now. So that's the little trick if your images aren't working. So let's keep going though, because I think we can do better than just showing latitude and longitude. Let's show it as a map. So what I think the way we can do that is if we turned on the right fields. So when I drop down position, if I look through here, there's nothing about maps. Okay, so that makes sense because I haven't turned on the module yet. So let's do drush, and we'll do enable, because when we downloaded GeoField, it came with it. We're going to drush enable. We're going to say yes to all the prompts, and we're going to enable GeoField _ map. I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to say awesome, yes, let's do it, and it's there. So now when I refresh this page, once I log back in, when I refresh the page, the reason I keep getting kicked out of logging in is because I keep clearing the cache and deleting my cookies. But so now that I'm here, I got position, I can drop down and do add GeoField map, and now I get this entire map. And you can tweak settings in here. You can change there's a default center. You can do all that stuff right in there. So I'm going to hit save, and now there's one more thing I have to do. And if you are following along with display a Google map, you need to add this script inside your index file, right? So in order to do that, I just want to grab I have it rendered out, or I have it already set up here, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just taking this script, but with the Google API key in it, and I'm going into SSH, and I want to edit the field so I can so that we can see it. So what I'm going to do is I need to edit the index file. So I got to go to VI because I want to edit, and then I want to go into mobile-application, and then from mobile application I want to open the index file, and I hit tab and it pops it open. So then I hit enter, and I want to edit the index file. So I want to hit insert, and I want to go just before wherever, doesn't really matter as long as it's in the head. I'm going to go just before jQuery mobile, and I'm going to right click, and that'll paste in my code. I'm going to hit escape so I can get out of edit mode, and hit colon, and I'm going to write that and quit it so that way it's updated. All right. And again, if that's confusing, the VI stuff and editing through there, I promise you it was confusing to me at first, but now it is a way of life, and it is the way to go. As long as it's not a production website, because you don't want to mess around in production of stuff. You want to do it locally and then push it live. So, but anyway, that's let's take a look at that now. So before we reload that, we want to clear the cache because we want to make sure we get all the updated stuff from the server. And what we're going to do is go to content, and then once the list loads, we're going to go hello Drupadelphia. And we're going to see, look at that, we're going to see hello Drupadelphia, the picture, and the map, the geocord, which is awesome. So it mapped exactly where I was, which is fantastic. So we wrote an app with one line of code, not even code, we copy and pasted, and we did that in a matter of minutes. So I think DrupalGap is incredible, and there's just so much you can do with it, and just makes life super simple. So yeah, let's go back and we'll check out the second web app, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. All right, so this is DrupalGap The App Awakens, episode 8. Spoiler alert, I'm just teasing, there's no real spoiler alert, but it is going to be an awesome app, and it's going to be a good movie. So we're going to do a web app that's headless Drupal, and just so you know, everything you do with DrupalGap, anytime you make a DrupalGap app, it's always headless. It's always just pulling the data down from Drupal using views and data source, using JSON and views, data source, and services module to populate the content. So it's always headless. Then you can always take that headless Drupal and make it into an app. So yeah, you can go through we're going to go through the web app, headless Drupal, get nearby content, and show it on a map. And again, step-by-step instructions here. It'll walk you through everything you need to know. It's all of it's found on TylerFrankenstein.com. You walk you right through the whole thing. The one thing you need to just be careful of is when you're creating a page for the display of the map, you're going to follow this link here. And then once you're done with all that, you can copy my paste bin in, and that has a little bit of extra features and tweaks that I've just messed around with and made up. So just to show how awesome DrupalGap is. So we are going to go to back to the site, and we're going to start working on app number 2. And in order to do that, we're going to we have to add a module. So we're going to go to SSH, and I'm logged in. I'm already there, and I want to drush, and I want to download. Let's just enable it, and I'm going to say yes, and I want to enable address field. And it's going to say it's not there. We want to get it. Great. Download it. Awesome. Successful. Okay. So now that we downloaded the Drupal 7 address field, we also want to install the DrupalGap address field module. Now there isn't a module for every Drupal 7 thing, but you can create it. Oh, you got to log in. You can create it. You can build it. You can do it. And anyone can build it, and it teaches you how on DrupalGap.org. Which is awesome. So, all right, so now what we're going to do is we want to create a new content type, and we're going to call this content type, we're going to add a new content type, we're going to call it locations, and we're going to we don't need to preview before, we're going to hit save and add fields, and from there we're going to reuse a couple fields and we're going to add some new fields. So to start with, we're going to reuse the image field, and we're going to hit save. And then we're going to take all the defaults because that's just fine and dandy. And then we're going to go in and add a new field called, not position, we're going to add address field. Right there, address field. And the type is called postal address. And we got that when we added the address module. We're going to take the defaults for edit settings. We're going to take the defaults here. No changes, and then we are going to add afterwards the position field. So what we're going to do, this is really cool, we're going to put in a regular address, and then we're going to use position, but instead of the latitude and longitude, we're going to geocode from another field. So we're going to take this address that we input, and we're going to geocode it from another field. So we're going to take the address and pass it to Google, and Google is going to give back the geo coordinates for it. So we're going to hit save. And this is where if you don't have Entity installed, this next page won't load. So if this page doesn't load, it's because you need to install the module Entity. Okay? And that's just one of the dependency issues, that it's not really a dependency, but it is a dependency. So we're going to take all the defaults and just hit save. And from there, we're going to add some content to the site. But instead of you watching me copy and paste title, body, all that stuff, all these 5 times, I'm just going to install another module, drush, and I'm going to say enable, I'm going to say yes, and I want to install node underscore export, and it'll download everything you needs for that. And from there, we're going to go and start installing it. So if I go back to the site and hit Control F5 just to get an updated copy of the menu at the top, that will allow me to go straight into content, add content, node import, and we're just going to paste in this new piece every time, and everything's under here. So we can grab Tony Luke's, and I've already added this content before and exported it out in the format that needed to be, and that's how I'm able to just add it right back in. You might see some errors, but it still works great. Works fine, no worries. So we're going to get Jim's Steaks, and we just Jim's Steaks, we'll import, we'll close that, we don't need that, with Geno's, and then we'll paste that in, and then we'll do Pat's, and then we'll paste that in, and Then we'll do Denix. And I'm excited for Denix after this presentation. And we'll just close that because we don't need it. Okay, so now I've added the field, the content. We go back, we can see all the different content. There's a Reading Terminal Market, Denix, Pat's King of Steaks, Gina's Steaks, Jim's Steaks, Citizen Bank Park, Tony Luke's Steaks. So you can tell I like cheesesteaks, right? So if we click on Reading Terminal Market, you can see there's an image, there's an address field, and check it out, the position. It geocoded this address automatically for us and pulled it in, which is awesome. I love it. So what we're going to do from here is we are going to create a view to view this content. So what this app's supposed to do is we're going to pass it our location, and it's going to tell us what's near us. So in order to do that, we got to go to Structure, we got to go to Views, and we're going to create a new view. And we're going to do Add New View, and we're actually going to call this view Nearby Locations. We want content. We're going to do of type location, and we're going to sort unsorted for now. We're going to create a page, and the page we're going to actually do is we're going to add .json, because anytime we're changing this data format to be a .json file, which is JSON data document, and that comes with views underscore data source. There's a views JSON module that gets installed. It's part of a requirement for DrupalGap. So I always change it to .json just so I know exactly what the JSON views are, and we're going to hit continue and edit. Okay, so then from here, if you scroll down, you can see, oh, this is great. It's got the title, it's showing all our content. This is fantastic, but it's not showing closest to us, and it's not showing all the content we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by adding some more fields. So we're going to add a couple more fields. We're going to add a couple more fields. We're going to add NID because we need to know what ID it's associated with, and we're going to uncheck NID because if you don't uncheck it, it's going to have a capital N, and that's bad machine names. We want all lowercase for programming, so we're going to uncheck that. It'll automatically make it machine named. And what we're going to do is do add again, and I'm going to add actually a couple more things. I'm going to try to add a couple at once. We're going to add image. I'm going to check it. I'm not going to hit apply yet. I'm going to go back and hit body, and then we're going to hit that. Don't hit apply, and then we're going to hit we called it position, and we're going to hit apply. So all those ones we checked we'll get to go through. So we're just going to uncheck this so it's all machine names and hit apply. And then image we're going to uncheck, and we're going to say we want the medium image. We're going to hit apply. And position we're actually going to leave checked, and we're going to make this latitude, and then we're going to say instead of just well-known, we want to change this to latitude only. And what that'll do is it'll for the label lat, it'll have latitude only. We're going to hit apply, and if you scroll down, we'll see we're getting close. We got title, node, body, we've got the field image, and you can see the URL parameter, the italk thing that allows it to auto-generate this image style, which is awesome, and the latitude, but we need the longitude. So let's add another field. We'll re-add the same position field, and what we'll do is we'll make sure that we're adding longitude. So we're going to leave that up, and we're going to type in lon, and whatever label you put here is what the label will actually be, and we're going to say longitude only, accept all the defaults, and scroll down and see, great, latitude, longitude. This is awesome. So now we've got all the fields we want, and now we want to show, well, based off where I am and what URL parameter I pass it of where I am, of the location I'm at, show me what's near me. So we're going to do advanced, and we're going to add a contextual filter. And with GeoField, there's a contextual filter called proximity that gets added, and this allows you to say how far away you are from something. So what we're going to do is say display no results if there's no URL passed, and we're going to get rid of the all so no one can sneakily find everything. We're going to put a default radius of 5, why not, and we're going to make it miles, not kilometers, and we're going to hit apply. Now you scroll down and you're like, oh crap, I broke it, but actually you didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the location of the Philadelphia Convention Center, and now this is kind of interesting. So we're doing latitude, comma, no space, longitude, and then we're doing underscore distance away. So this is saying give me everything that's within a mile of the convention center, and I'm going to hit update, and then you'll see, look at that, it put in the Reading Terminal Market because it's right there. And if we change this to 4 miles away, we get everything: Citizens Bank, Geno's, Pat's, Reading Terminal Market. I think if we do 5, we actually get everything, but you get the idea. So now the tricky thing is, so Citizens Bank Park is way farther away than Reading Terminal Market, because Reading Terminal Market's like 20 feet. We're actually, this presentation's above Reading Terminal Market. So what I'm going to do is we need to add the proximity field so that way we can see how far away it is. So what I'm going to do is add proximity, and I'm going to check that and scroll down, apply. I'm going to uncheck the label. I'm going to take out 1000 marker, and let's actually round it because it can be a little overwhelming when it's 4 million decimal points. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. So source of origin point. We want the source of the origin point to be contextual GeoField proximity filter. So that is the whatever we pass it, whatever location we pass this view, we want it to show the distance away, and we're going to do it in miles. So I'm going to hit apply all. Then we're going to scroll down, and we're going to see with the URL parameter passed, the conference center is 3.4 miles away. Now it's still out of order, but at least we have the field now. So now let's sort the criteria by proximity. So we're going to sort it by proximity. And again, this is tricky, but we want to sort by contextual GeoField proximity filter. So we want to sort by whatever location we pass it. And if we look now, Reading Terminal Market's first, and Citizens Bank Park is last. So it's perfect. It's working great. Now this is a big thing. Do not forget to save it, because I've done that and lost it and been very sad. All right, so now the tricky part is we've saved the view, and we've installed, let's just double check, we installed in DrupalGap address field. Yep, we've installed address field. Now we've got to go in and say, okay, we need to create a custom module that will allow us to access that view and pull in all the content and data. And again, all this is found in the URL that I provided at the very beginning. And let's just hop right in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in. We're SSH'd in again, and I'm under my mac and cheese, which is my test Drupal website. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into I'm going to make a directory. So you type in mkdir, so make a directory. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into mobile application. I'm going to hit tab, and it'll complete it. And then I'm going to go into app. I'm going to hit tab, and it completes it, adds a slash. And then I'm going to go into modules and hit tab. And then I'm going to create I'm going to make a directory right there called custom. Hit enter. And so then I'm going to hit up again because I want to reload that, but this time I want to add another directory inside a custom, and I want to call it, so I put /my underscore module, because that's the name of my custom module I'm building. And then inside of that, I want to create, I'm going to leave all that up. I'm going to hit home. I hit up to reload that same thing. I'm going to delete this out, and I'm going to add VI, and what I want to do is add, I'm going to add to the end my module / and I'm going to put my module again because I want to add a file called mymodule.js. So anytime it's looking for a module and you create a custom one, it looks in the custom folder, and then it looks for the name of it, my module, and then it looks for the name of that JS, mymodule.js, similar to Drupal, except it's looking for other files, but in this case it's .js. So I'm going to hit enter, and that's going to create this mymodule.js file. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the original. So this is what the walkthrough has you do, and I'm copying all that. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to hit insert because I want to paste this in. I'm going to right click and paste it all in. Sometimes you got to right click paste, but I just have to right click. I'm going to hit escape because I want to get out of edit insert mode, and I want to hit : I want to write and quit it. I'm going to hit enter. And so that created that file for me. So that created a file called mymodule.js inside of the modules custom mymodule directory, which is exactly what we want to do. And then from there, we need to edit the settings file. So if we want to edit the settings file, which is a VI because we're going to edit a file. And then we're going to go into mobile application again, hit tab, hit app, and then we're going to hit settings, and we want to edit the settings.js file because we got to add two things to this. So if we this is the file, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go up a little bit, and I'm going to see, okay, right here is the modules. So what I want to do is I want to add the custom module. I'm going to hit insert, hit enter, and once I hit insert, it allows me to edit the file. So I'm going to type Drupal.modules. This time custom, because we're adding a custom module, and I'm going to add the custom module we just added, which is my_modules module, and I'm going to put single quote, the brackets equals bracket quotes semicolon, and then I'm going to hit escape. I could hit escape, but I didn't have to because I still need to edit one more thing. But so we added Drupal.module.custom. I'm going to go now. I got to find the settings. I think it's right here. It is. So under right here where it says, I don't know if you can see it right there. It says app front page. And right now the default, which is what loads that dashboard in DrupalGap, that's the default. We want to hit insert first because I did hit escape. So to get back into edit, you hit insert. Then I want to go back into the front page and I want to type in map. And I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to hit colon right quit because I want to save my changes and get out of the file. Okay. Now that might have been a little confusing, but what we did is we told DrupalGap, hey, we're adding a new custom module, and then we said, hey, we want the default page that loads, we want that to be this map file, just to make it easy. And if you look in here, just like you would with hook menu for a Drupal website, we created mymodule_menu, and we added an item called map. We just did it in JavaScript. So that's how we built the map page, and that's what we said when the custom mod, when the new site loads, we want it to automatically load the map page. So let's clear our browser settings, and then let's go into My Mac and Cheese, and we'll hit refresh the My Mac and Cheese DrupalGap install, and the default page should load our map. There it is, and this Find Nearby Locations button. So what you can do is hit Find Nearby Location. Now this is going to fail because, and this is tricky, because the default, I'm not actually there doing it. So what I need to do is I need to go back up, and I want to edit the mymodule.js file because I'm going to go page up, down just a little bit, not too far, and I want to find, there's a variable that sets the distance away by default, and it is not far enough for me because I live too far away. And so there it is, range. So I'm going to hit insert. I'm going to go down to this range, and 4 miles isn't far enough for me. I'm more like 25 miles. So I'm going to hit that escape colon right quit, and that's how you get out of it and save it. And then what I'm going to do is go back here and clear the browsing data, clear it all. Hit Control F5, get a new copy from the server, and we reload it. I hit Find Nearby Locations, and there they all are. Now it's a little tricky because you might not put the proximity as the title, and you might want the title to be a little more bold, and there's little tweaks and stuff that we can do. And so there's where I am, and if I zoom out, I can see that they did load, but the map didn't recenter. So there's little things that I think we could do to make this look better. When I go to load the page, okay, wait, what's going on? Remember, there's display modules for Drupal, display modes, and so for every time you create a new content type, you need to edit the display modes. So manage display is DrupalGap, and we're going to go in and we're going to add, I'm going to log in. We're going to go in and we're going to add all the fields. So we want the image first, and then we're going to do the body, and then we're going to add address, and then we're going to add position, and we're going to get rid of all of these because, again, labels sometimes are pointless. And then we're going to edit the image because we want to make sure, well, we're going to show it a little larger. Why not? And then we're going to go to address. Address is good, actually. And we're going to go to position, and we're going to say we want to put the geomap. Now we already added, don't forget, we already added the line of code for the JavaScript you need to add into your index file in the previous app. So don't forget that if you're just building this separately. We're going to keep all the defaults, hit update. And just because you hit update there doesn't mean it's saved. So don't forget to save. I've done that plenty of times and I've been very annoyed with myself finally figuring it out later. So we're going to clear the cache again, and we're going to go back and refresh this page, and we're going to get the listing of places again. It does show that there's new places, and then I'm going to get the listing again, and then when I display it, it loads. So that's pretty awesome what we did in a matter of about an hour. We built all that. So DrupalGap is fantastic. Everything in it is so awesome, but what I want to show you is that you can actually, there's ways of making, obviously ways of making everything better, but let me just make a couple tweaks real quick to this page here. So there's a couple of tweaks you can make to make this a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this final code that I got, from the paste bin, grab that final code. I'm going to grab that code, copy it, and I'm going to paste it into the My Modules, and I'm going to save it, and I'm just going to hop in real quick, and I'm going to update that. It's just quicker for me to do it this way, and it's another way to show you. So if I go into My Mobile Application, App, Modules, we're under Custom, My Modules, and then I'm just going to upload that My Module folder and file and overwrite it, and just clear the settings to make sure we don't get the old stuff. And I'm going to hop in and hit update, and this time I put in a nifty little slider, and what that does is it allows you to control the distance away. So if I hit this, yeah, I'm not going to get anything because I'm not far enough, but if I hit 25 miles and hit get nearby location, boom, everything shows, the map recenters. I changed the proximity to be over here, so it shows you approximately 18 miles away. I put the title in, I put in the body, the image, so I just cleaned it up a little. The map recenters, you can actually, even if you mouse over these guys, it'll actually tell you what the name of it is. You can set it so you click it and it loads the title with a clickable link, and then instead of clicking here you can click both. I've done all that, so anything you can do in a Google Map you can do right here, which is awesome, and it all works really well. So let's hop back over to the slideshow and wrap this up. So we did the app, we built it, and you could render that out and put that into a iOS or Android store and have that ready to go, which is awesome. So how do you get involved? Come to the dark side. We have DrupalGap. I'm telling you, it's awesome. You'll love it. So DrupalGap, you can contribute, you can become part of the association, you can make donations, you can get started. There's tons and tons of getting started links. You can stay connected through Twitter and Facebook. You can sign up for e-newsletter updates and all that jazz. It's awesome. So questions and comments, questions and contact information. This is I'm Joe Roberts again. My email is joe@joerobertsphotography. Feel free to email me, and then you can also Twitter. My Twitter handle is Joe Roberts Photo. So you can also hit me up on IRC chat. I usually go by Joe Roberts Photog, and because photography doesn't fit. But if you don't know what IRC chat is, if you go to this website and then type in a username and put this hashtag, if you put that hashtag there, DrupalGap, that'll let you log into our little community of guys where there's a ton of us always online trying to chat and build DrupalGap and make it better and everything like that. I do want to give a special thanks to Tyler Frankenstein. He is an awesome guy who helped me out tons with this presentation, has presented this similar presentation before, and his IRC chat is Frankenstein, so if you need help with anything online, you can totally hit him up. He created DrupalGap, brilliant man and a great consultant, if you ever want to hire someone to build you some module stuff or modules for the community and for you. Thank you so much. If you have questions, comment below the video and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. It takes me some time sometimes, but I promise I will get to it. Thanks so much and hope you enjoyed this little video about DrupalGap.